Talking about the Augsburg wrestling tradition, some numbers really pop out in my mind. 45 individual national champions, 212 All-Americans, 111 Scholar All-Americans, 11 national titles. We have a streak going right now, which is the longest current streak in the nation of any school in any division. And what the streak is that it's placing the top 4 for the past 23 consecutive years. And that's, like I said, one of the longest current streak of any school in any division. So that's, a bunch of those numbers is, kind of pops out to me as the Augsburg wrestling tradition. Believe it or not, this tradition that has come about is based on philosophy that we have here at Augsburg College Wrestling. So we don't just focus on the wrestling aspect, we focus on the wrestler as a person. And we have 4 foundations at Augsburg Wrestling, and in this order. Number 1, faith and family. Number 2, academics. Number 3, social behavior. And number 4 is wrestling. Some people may think that wrestling should be is first for us. Actually, it's not. When I describe faith and family, that is number 1. That's number 1 thing, and really we believe like it should be the number 1 thing in everyone's life, because no matter how high in life you are or how low you are, those are the 2 things that that are going to be standing beside you. Is your faith, your faith in Christ, and your family. I mean, your loved ones, your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad. Those relationships, your relationship with the Lord, your relationship with your family, they're going to help you through the tough times, and they're going to be there in the great times, to help you celebrate. We're really building men of character. That's what that is what we strive, because I forget what coach had said. I'm stealing this, of course. That's what all those coaches do, is we steal from each other. A coach was once asked, well, how'd you do this year? And the coach said, well, I don't know. Ask me in 20 years, and that's when we'll know. When I'll know how well I did. So, we want to produce, good men that are productive in society. To become an Augsburg wrestler, it takes great commitment as well as vision. All right, you must be totally committed to to yourself and to the program. People that are in it halfway and half out, they're not able to survive. Versus the young men that jump in, 2 feet in, and believe in the foundations and live by the foundations, and those are the ones that are able to have a great experience here. And I'm not talking about whether they're national champions, All-Americans, or even have a winning record. It's about the process that they go through, the daily grind that they go through with with another human being. That is really sets them apart from another sport. Now, printed on the wall in our wrestling room is 1% improvement. Now, what does that mean? Well, for Augsburg Wrestling, it means to improve a little bit every single day. That's realistic. It is unrealistic to say, come into to come into a practice and say, well, I'm gonna perfect the high crotch today. We all know, as wrestlers, as parents, that's unrealistic. However, we can work little by little every single day and improve, that 1%. And at the end of a month, at the end of 2 months, just think of how much better you can be with having that mindset of improving a little bit every single day. It's very hard to try and survive or coast through a practice, and those are the wrestlers who, again, are maybe half in and half out. Those are the guys that end up, maybe not making it, and end up, doing something else, come halfway through the year because they're not totally committed. Of the committed Augsburg wrestlers, what does it take, or what does it mean to become a champion? In my eyes, it means reaching their full potential, and that goes for in the classroom academically, is that they must be striving. If they are a 4.0 student, they need to be striving in their classes for a 4.0. If they're a 2.5 student, that's not bad at any rate. But they need to be striving for that 2.5 or 3.0. And it goes again in the wrestling aspect, is that some of our wrestlers, their potential will be a national champion. And that is what our coaching staff will help them drive and aim towards. Others, some years, and maybe a 500 record, maybe that freshman year. And that is an attainable goal. The next year, let's add some more wins to that. The following year, let's break the lineup. And once you're on the Augsburg College Wrestling lineup, the expectation is that you are a national qualifier and an All-American. And then we get, again, to that, hopefully that senior year, All-American, national champion status. And some wrestlers will get there. But our hope, my hope, the coaching staff's hope, is that all the wrestlers reach their potential. At Augsburg Wrestling, the expectation is to improve incrementally, daily. That's what that 1% improvement is all about. There's a saying that we like. And the saying is that a man's reach should always exceed his grasp. And again, with that vision, with that thinking, we're able to reach our full potential. And sometimes, well, actually, in many cases, I would say, surpass one's potential. We do get wrestlers who maybe sell themselves short a little bit, and through the rigor of our training, they're able to go up against the top competition in the nation, and they're able to, believe it or not, get that win. And once they're able to get that win, to beat one of those top wrestlers in the nation, that's when their confidence is able to start building, and that's when they start believing. Again, they start believing that they're the best and that they can make it on the podium. It's not enough for the wrestler to just believe in himself. That the wrestler must also have a coaching staff, must also have mentors to help him, to pick him up when he's down. You take a look at college wrestlers. They're usually in the ages between 18 and 23 years old, and in that time of their life, they're in a transition phase. They're in a transition phase from being, looked at as a boy when they're in high school to becoming a young man, going off into society, and expected to have a job, start a family. Well, in those 4 or 5 years of transition, they spend countless of hours with their wrestling coach. And at Augsburg College we have a lot of different coaches that are able to connect with our wrestlers, and that's one of the most satisfying pieces of my job, is that I am able to give advice, able to mentor young men and hopefully steer them in the right direction. What it means to be an Augsburg wrestler is that there are very high standards set, high expectations set on these young men who decide to become Augsburg wrestlers. Augsburg College is a small knit community within a large city, and on campus it's the highest profile athletic program, I would say, on campus because of its tradition. And because of this, the wrestling program holds them to a high standard. Is that we don't hope that our wrestlers will be leaders in the classroom. We expect that they are. We don't hope that they will be leaders, socially. We expect that they're leaders socially. And within the athletic department itself, we don't hope that they're going to be leaders. We expect that they're going to be leaders. And with this high expectation, I believe is a little bit different than some of our modern day society. Is that there are many people that will not hold or are afraid to hold young men to high expectations for fear of failure. We go against that. That young men, strive to be held to a high expectation. Will some falter? Yes. Not everyone is perfect, but what's the matter, with striving for perfection within the realm of those high expectations? To help our wrestlers live up to these high expectations, our coaching staff really uses a lot of encouragement. When a young man may falter, we're there to put, to pat them on their back, to let them know that we believe in them. Okay? We believe in our wrestlers. We encourage them because we know none of us. Right? I'm not perfect. None of the coaching staff, on my staff, we're perfect going through college, or still going through life. We're not perfect. However, it's a lot. It helps a great deal when someone's there to let you know that you believe in them, and that they say we believe in you, Johnny. You're going to get through this. It's all right. Here we go. We're not going to make the same mistake again. Let's move on. We've learned from it, and that is life. In high school, I wrestled at Ellsworth High School in Ellsworth, Wisconsin. I was a two-time state champion and a three-time finalist. The reason I chose Augsburg was a couple of reasons, I guess. There wasn't just one. I came on a visit here. I met with the coaching staff. I believed in their foundations, of the faith and family, the academics, the social behavior, and the wrestling. Was that there's more to life than just wrestling. And I liked basically I believed that Augsburg wrestling and its tradition and its philosophy was going to help me become a better man, as well as reach my fullest potential as a wrestler. I didn't want to take any steps back as a team either. And what I mean by that is that I came from a very successful high school wrestling program, and it's still very successful to this day. They just won the Division II Wisconsin State team championships last year. And I wanted to keep winning team titles. I wanted to be surrounded by wrestlers who thought just like me, you know, how they wanted to push each other, how mediocrity was not acceptable, you know, striving for perfection. And the last piece of it was that I come from a very large family of seven kids, and you know, we're all very close, and it's only about 45 minutes. You know, Augsburg College is only about 45 minutes from the home farm in Ellsworth. So my parents, my brothers, my sisters could still come and watch me compete. You know, in recruiting kids and wrestlers, I say this to them as well, is that when you to go visit as many places as possible, and believe it or not, one place is going to feel right for you, because this place felt right for me. I sat in that gym on my recruiting visit, and I had a feeling that you know, I was going to be a part of team national titles and individual national titles. Well, you know, what it meant to be on the Augsburg wrestling team, you know, as a competitor was, you know, I take a look back, and it was again some of the best years of my life, and I think many viewers can say that about their college years if they have gone to college, or at least you should be able to, because you're somewhere in between, you know, having a lot of responsibilities, and especially here, where, like as I said earlier, when you are with a group of 40 guys who are going in one direction, you all want the same thing. You know, it's as if you have, you know, 39 brothers that, you know, you may not always agree, you know, you may get into fights, but at the end of the day, you know, you're in this fraternity of Augsburg wrestling, and that you have a coaching staff that believes in you, you have people around you that believe in you, and you have a campus community that believes in you as well. And you know, it was some of the best years of my life. You know, as a competitor, you know, we did, you know, compete against, you know, great competitors, you know, great competition, and you know, schools like Wartburg, La Crosse, University of Nebraska, Omaha, and I guess what prepared us was that when we were wrestling in the, you know, in this room, we were wrestling with coaches who were multiple-time All-Americans, national champions. We were wrestling with one another, and we were bound to have national qualifiers, All-Americans, national champions in there. So our toughest competition was actually in the wrestling room, and that really helped us, you know, and developed us and trained us to wrestle against those, you know, the top competition in the nation, so that it wasn't a shocker, so that it wasn't something that we only saw a couple times a year. It was something that we saw every single day. To overcome, you know, I guess basically, the doubt in yourself when you're wrestling a national championship match, or a large, you know, or a big match, you know, in a dual meet setting, is that you have to believe in yourself, and if you start doubting yourself a little bit, that's where your coaching staff comes in and encourages you. Right? That's when they come in and they do believe in you, that you are going to go out there and wrestle your hardest, and also to really focus on, I guess, performance goals instead of outcome goals. You know, I mean, You can't go into a match thinking, I got to win this match, I got to win this match, I got to win this match. You go out there and you wrestle. Performance goals. You want to get your, you want to have hand control. You want to have head position. You want to get the first takedown. You want to ride him. You want to beat them on the whistle. You want to get your turn and focus on wrestling that one match, wrestling those 7 minutes. The outcome's going to take care of itself, whether it's a win or a loss. Well, it's very hard to describe. The best way I can describe it, I guess, is that if I could bottle up that feeling and put it in a pill and sell it, it'd be the highest selling drug on the market. That's how great it feels to be, put in a position like that, and then also come out on top. That helps too. I guess to explain it more, to go into more, to go in more depth on the subject, it was a work of many, a great coaching staff, great wrestlers, and given a great opportunity, by the grace of God, put in a position, and having the faith to jump both feet in and believe that everything is going to be all right, everything is going to work out. Being the head wrestling coach at Augsburg College, is very humbling, and there's a lot of responsibility with this position, and it's one that when I accepted the job was that I believed that I wanted, is that I believe that I want to mentor young men, whether it be in a classroom, whether it be in a church setting. However, I was given the opportunity to mentor young men who are 18 to 23. If they come back to college, maybe they're a little bit older, but I'm able to mentor them, through the wrestling mat. And I needed is one of those situations, and we all get to these situations in life that that they're going to be hard. That you may not be totally ready at the time, and you have a choice. You can either turn your back and run, or take it head on and believe, believe in your abilities, believe in the people around you, and get after it. And I guess I chose the second, to stay and to know that this was going to be wasn't going to be easy. However, I really believe that it was my calling to, it was my vocation, basically, to stay at Augsburg College and help, young men, basically become productive citizens.